மௌனமாமுரையார் காட்டும் மா பிரம்மவத்துவாலன் சிவநிலை தவசற்சீடர் செரிகுருவரன் சிற்கையன் உவகையோருருவன் தன்னுள் உவப்பவன் கழிமூகத்தன் அவனையான் தென்பான்மூர்த்தி அப்பனை ஏத்துவோமே அவனையான் தென்பான்மூர்த்தி அப்பனை ஏத்துவோமே. So we shall read the Mangala Venba now. ஆன்மாவாமீசன் குகனுக்கருள் செய்த ஆன்ம சாட்சாத்காரமாகுமீது ஆன்மாவாய் என்னகத்தே இருந்தின்று தமிழ் சொல்வானம் முன்னவனாய முதல். We shall read from 31st. ஆமயமூடாதாரம் அற்றதாய் வர்ணமுடு நாமரூபங்களும் நன்னிடாது ஆமன் நிரஞ்சன நிர்குண ஆன்மாவை நீயும் நிரந்தரமாக நினை ஆசிரயமாலம்பம் அற்றதாய் மானத்தார் கோசரமாகாதுவமை கூரரிதாய் மாசிலியல் மன்னியதாய் நித்தியமாய் மன்னிய ஆன்மாவை உன்னிடுக நாளும் உவந்து வினைகளெல்லாமுமே விட்டு நிராசை தனையுற்று சங்கம் தனந்து பிணையென்றும் தன்னிலே தன்னாலே தன்னிலமர் தன்னையே உன்னிட வேண்டும் உணர் தேயமொடு சாதி திகழ் வர்ணமாசிரமா ஆய இவற்றை அனுசரித்து மேய பல சிந்தனைகள் எல்லாம் சிதைத்தறிஞன் தன்னுருவின் சிந்தனையே செய்க தினம் இது மந்திரமாம் இது தேவதையாம் இதுவே தியானம் எனலும் இதுவே தவமாகும் எண்ணங்கள் எல்லாம் தனந்து சுவரூப சிந்தை துணி. So this is mantram, mantra japa. And this is Devata, Pujanam, worship of all the Devatas. And this is Dhyanam. And this is everything. Iduve tapas, iduve tavamahum. Yennangal ellam tanandu. When all the thoughts subside and Suvarupa Sindaituni, when you focus yourself on Atma, the self, that is the real sadhana. That is what needs to be done. This is what we have seen in the morning. Now moving on. Yenna milanandan yennamo donriyadai yennar kidaniladai seididuha என்னும் மனதையான்மாவிலே மன்னச்செயதொன்று மனதா நினையற்கமற்று எண்ணமிலனாந்தான் எண்ணமோடொன்றியதை எண்ணற்கிடனிலதாய் செய்திடுக என்னும் மனதையான்மாவிலே மன்னச் செய்தொன்று மனதால் நினையற்க மற்று எண்ணம் இலனாம் நான். So that is how we have to split. Yennam ilanam nan. What is my true self? Yennam ilanam. I have no thoughts. In the self, there are no vrittis, no thoughts about anything. So that is my true nature. Yennam ilanam. But as a jiva, when I am functioning through the mind, there are only thoughts. Is that not so? As a self, I have nothing to do with thoughts. I have no thoughts whatsoever. But when I am identifying the body-mind, when I am living as a jiva, then there are only thoughts in the mind. The mind is only active. And there are only thoughts. So, ennamod onriyadai. This mind, which is constantly thinking, which is always associated with thoughts, ennarku idan iladai cheididuga. So, do not give any room to the mind to think about anything. Ennarku idaniladai cheididuga. Idanidai means don't give any room for the mind to hold on to anything or think about anything. Ennamod onriyadai means here it is indicated as mind. Mind is always associated with the thought. Ennamod onriyadai. Ennarku idaniladai cheididuga. Make that mind completely without any thoughts, or not to hold on to any thoughts, any objects. Because only holding on to the objects, there comes the thought. Thoughts are always about the objects. So, do not allow the mind to hold on to anything. Ennarku idaniladai cheididuga. Give no room to the mind to think of anything else. Stop the mind. என்னும் மனதை ஆன்மாவிலே மன்னச் செய்து. See, how can it be achieved? Can be achieved by only one way, one means. That is, என்னும் மனதை ஆன்மாவிலே மன்னச் செய்து. When you keep the mind always in the heart, then no thoughts rises. If not, you cannot avoid thoughts. The mind will go on thinking about something or other. See, if you are really intelligent enough, you can watch all the thoughts as a dispassionate onlooker, as a witness. Or you can focus attention on the I thought, leaving all the other thoughts. So that when you are focused only on the I thought, நான் இருக்கிறேன் அப்படிங்கிற I thoughtல, then other thoughts won't arise. That is how you have to go within. And when you are always with the thought, always with the heart, that is ஆன்மா மனதை ஆன்மாவிலே மன்னச் செய்து. So when you abide in the heart, keeping the mind in your heart always, then what happens? Then alone you can make the mind empty. எண்ணற்கு இடநிலதாய் செய்திட முடியும். You can make the mind not to think of anything. And then ஒன்றும் மனதால் நினையற்கமற்று. After that, when the mind is, fixed in the heart, then do not think anything else. Don't initiate any thoughts, new thoughts. This is what we have been seeing, na? Na kinchidapi chintayet. Atma samstam manakritva. Once when you have kept the mind in the Atma, the self, when it has attained peace, don't initiate any new thoughts. ஒன்று மனதால் நினையற்க மற்று means then don't think anything else. So it is very hard to focus attention on the self and then to keep the mind there. Somehow if you have achieved it, it is a great achievement. But after that, foolishly, don't initiate any thoughts. Any thought of anything, not even about moksha, not even about God. Don't any thought. You understand? So actually, what is our true self? Where there are no thoughts. But what is the state of the mind now? It is always associated with some thought or other. Some thoughts or the other. Right? So that mind now we have to somehow make it thoughtless. How to do that? Only by abiding in the self. So after abiding in the self, when the mind has quietened totally, then be there. Already you have surrendered everything to the Lord, to the Guru Maharaj, to our Gurudeva, Gurunatha. So he will take care of everything. All your yoga and kshema, he will take care. This is the faith. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate. Tesham nityabhyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamya. So he has assured, I will take care of the yoga kshema of such a true seeker. He has assured. So now you just keep the mind and do not worry or think over anything. How long, Swami, should we keep our mind there? As long as it is possible, stay there. But if the vasanas are there, it will not allow you to stay for longer. Somehow or other it will push you out. Or sometimes you feel very uncomfortable sitting in one posture. Or sometimes, suddenly mind will just, it gets jerked out for some reason, we don't know. All can happen. Anything can happen in the seat of meditation. And mind can create anything. It can create the whole world. Why can't it create? It can create anything. So therefore, once when you have quietened the mind, don't disturb the mind again. So that's why when Bhagavan was living in the Ramanashramam, devotees used to sit around him, means in that same room, and meditate. When Bhagavan, sometimes he goes for a stroll, goes for some walking on the hills. So he gets up and he starts. Then the devotees say, hey, Bollywood, like, move. Bhagavan used to scold them. Don't disturb them. Why do you want to disturb everybody? So he will quietly, he will move. He will never disturb anybody. He was so gentle, so compassionate he was. And suddenly people get up. Don't get up. Don't disturb yourself. So we should not disturb anybody. When they are meditating, let them meditate. Because it is hard to quieten the mind. If somebody is trying, we should appreciate it. We should never disturb anybody. But some people are jealous. So they want to disturb only by doing something. Something they do. Why is he sitting quiet? Something he will do. If you want to really disturb somebody, you don't do anything. Hutch, you do. Everybody will run away. That is all. During COVID times, that is the only way to drive everybody away. Just a sneeze, that is enough. Without a kerchief, you sneeze. People will curse you and run away. The first day, this Sureshji was so angry with him, I suppose. So, he was so scared. I could see he was so scared. People are nowadays scared only. I don't know what is there in the air. So once when you are quiet in the mind, do not disturb it. If somebody is trying, please don't disturb. Then it's a papam, It's a sin what you are committing. If you disturb somebody when they are trying to focus their mind, it is actually a papam also. Please think. And 37th. This verse is really tough. But anyway, we will see. சிந்திக்கத்தக்கதல சிந்திக்கொண்ணாதல்ல சிந்தையலததுவே சிந்தையுமாம் எந்தவோர் பக்கமும் சாயா பரமான்மா பரமான ஆன்மாவை எக்காலும் சிந்தை செய்யே சிந்திக்கத்தக்கதல சிந்திக்கொண்ணாதல்ல சிந்தை அலததுவே சிந்தையுமாய் எந்தவோர் பக்கமும் சாயா பரமான ஆன்மாவை எக்காலும் சிந்தை செய்யே சிந்திக்கத்தக்கதல்ல. Meaning what? The Atma is not one which can be thought of. You cannot think about it. Why? It is beyond mind, beyond your intellect. So, sindikkattakkadalla. Again and again it is said, through the senses of the mind you cannot grasp it. Sindikkattakkadalla. Karpanai kadanda sodi. So, it is beyond all thoughts. Sindikkattakkadalla. At the same time, sindikka onadadalla. It is not that you cannot think about it. Just now you said you cannot think about it. The very next word he is saying, sindikka onadadalla. Onnadadalla. Meaning what? It is not that you cannot think of it. Then can you think of it? Yes, you can think of it. How? By these means. So, in reality, it cannot be thought of. That is true. But if you want to contemplate on it, you can use the Upanishadic mantras or all these ideas and you can contemplate on it. When you contemplate on it sincerely, it is not that with the mind you are going to know it, but the mind will be lifted to a different dimension. Like I told you, the example of koan. When you continuously think about it, it is not that you are going to find an answer to that koan, but your mind will perish or it will just blasted off. So how can you think about it? By contemplating on these statements about Atma, the self. Like Adi Shankara has given all about Atma Bodham. So you can take any one of the words and you can think. Or all the Upanishadic mantras are there. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Like that you can think about it. Achintyam avyaktam ananta rupam. This is Kaivalya Upanishad. Like that you can think about it. Mayye vasakalam jatam mayi sarvam pratishtitam. Like that you can think about it. So it is not that you can never think about it, but you can contemplate on it with the help of the scriptural statements. And it is said through the sukshmaya buddhya, with a very subtle intellect, the glimpse of the truth as the reflected consciousness can be had. Reflected consciousness is the consciousness only, it's reflected. So it can be had. But that also has to be dropped and everything to be dropped and you have to abide there as the self. So as the self, you cannot think about it. But with the help of the scriptural statements and with the help of the very sharpened, subtle intellect, you can think about it. You understand? See, this is a subtle science. So the language of contradiction is always used to drive any point. So yesterday also we have seen, It is very far. It is very close. It cannot be said it is very far. It cannot be said it is very close. That's what we saw yesterday, no? It is Shunyam. No, no, no. It is not. It is all. Everything. So, Sindikka takkadalla, Sindikku onnadadalla. Sindai aladadube. It is not the mind. Sindai means mind or the inner equipment. It's called a Sindai. So, it is not the mind actually. It is beyond the mind. Sindai aladadube. Adube means that Paramatma, this Atma, the self, is not the mind. Sindai aladu means it's not. Sindayumam. That is mind also. What is this? How can you say this? From the self standpoint, everything is self. Even this world is a self. Shiva is the self. Everything is self means mind also is self only. How? Mind, this is the adharam for everything. Adharam for everything. So therefore, when there is no thought, it is called as Atma. When there is thought, it is called as mind. Same thing only. When it is identified with the body mind, it is called as mind. Body, it is called as mind. Not identified, it is called as Atma. So I will give you another example. You will understand it better. See, once a father thought he will play a trick with his small child. Small child, 2-3 years old, son. Every day he used to expect the father at 5 o'clock in the evening, because father brings some chocolate, something he brings from the office, so he is always expecting. So the father thought one day, I will play, and bought a mask of a tiger. Tiger mask he bought, and then he came to the house. So he came to the house and then he wore the mask and then he pressed the calling bell. The child knows this is the time for the father to come. Child is so excited and happy. It came running and opened the door. Ah, the father said. Then the child screamed and it ran to the mother. Whoa! Then the father went and took away the mask. Then the child, oh my father, and it came and hugged. So father only is there. When he was masked, he appears to be somebody else. When you take the mask, he is my own dear father. The same Atma only, when it is masked with body, it is called the ego, the sense, ego sense. When the mask is taken out, it is the Paramatma only. So ego is also Paramatma only. Mind also is Paramatma only. It is masked, unmasked. When it is masked, it appears to be somebody else. So, when identified with the Panchakoshas, then it becomes mind. Not identified, then it becomes Atma. The same stuff only. So, from that standpoint, you can say, mind is also Atma only. First, when you reject it, when you say it is beyond mind, because it is not mind. But from the standpoint of the self, everything is self. So even the Panchamahabhutas, the world also is self. The Indriyas are the self. The body is the self. The mind is the self. Everything is self. Then mind also is self. Is that not so? So first it is said to reject. What is gold? I don't understand what is gold. Is this the gold? The ornament. Is this the gold? No, no, no. That is the gold? No, no, no. Then what is the gold? When you understand gold, yes, that is also gold. This is also gold. Everything is gold. You understand? When you think gold means that shape, that form, then it is not true, no? Then you will not accept some other shape as gold. So gold is beyond all shapes, all names and forms. So to understand the true gold, you say this is not gold, that is not gold, that is not gold. But when you know what is true gold, then everything is gold only. There is nothing other than the gold. Once in one golu, no, they say golu, they keep lot of dolls. In Navaratri time, they keep lot of dolls, in the steps. They call it Golu. So in one Golu, there was the doll of Guru and Shishya. In a step, there was a Guru and then the next step, Shishya. But both are made of sugar dolls. Sugar, jaggery, sugar doll, jaggery dolls, let us say. So the Guru means what? He is respected, he is worthy of worship. Shishya means very humble. But what are they? Nothing but jaggery. Similarly, everything is self. So from the self standpoint, you see, mind also is self only. So in the first statement, Sindai Aladaduve, it is beyond mind, it is said. And then when you realize the self, you understand Sindayumam, it is also the mind. Because that is nothing other than the self. Therefore, whatever is self only. Sindayumam. Yendavor pakkamum saya paramanmavai. So this paramanma will not lean on any other side, any side. Earlier also we saw, na? Yenda pakkamum sayada. So it has got no pakshapada. No favoritism means what? No partiality. It will not lean on this side or that side. No, not right or not left. Not even center. So, Yenda pakkamum saya paramanmavai ekkalum sindanai seyye. So, meditate on that Atma. Contemplate on that Atma which cannot be contemplated. But it can be contemplated. So, contemplate on it. With the mind it cannot be, mind is not. But still with the mind you can contemplate. Mind also is a self. So you know what, when you come to the Vedanta discourse, the teacher will be talking this way and that way also. Why? Because it is very hard to explain. So only through the language of contradiction it can be explained. Because all the concepts are destroyed here. When you give up all the concepts, there you are as the self. If you hold on to any one concept, you are gone. You understand? That is why this is said like this. Again, Sindai Seivai Dinamum Sindai Kettadadaye Sindai Nirasirayam Seideni Yenda Suga Atatuvadida Nitkala Anmavil Sittittidumo Serindu Sindai Seivai Dinamum Sindai Kettadadaye Sindai Nirasirayam Seideni Yenda Suga Attattavadita Nitkala Anmavil Sittittidumo Serindu Sindai Seivai Dinamum, every day, Anavaradam, every moment, Sindai Seivai. You think about it. Think about what? Sindaiki Ettadadaye, which cannot be grasped through the mind. Think that which cannot be thought of. Ennadan solla varinga. Think that self which cannot be thought of. Sindaiki Ettadadaye. Meaning that is the only way to go. You have to think about it. Though it is cannot be thought of, you have to think about it. Why? Like yesterday I told you in a story, that young fellow was jumping to pluck the mango. It cannot be plucked because he is so short and he is somewhere else up. So but still he has to jump and jump and jump to pluck the mango. If he doesn't, nobody knows that he wants the mango. If he tries hard, then comes the grace, comes the help, then comes the Guru, then the mango is given to him. So, Sindai Kettadadaye Sindai Seivai. Again and again contemplate only on that. so that you don't contemplate on anything else of the world. So the mind becomes so pure and one-pointed, and that mind just takes off to a different dimension. Sindai kettadadeye sindai seivai. That is the way to destroy the mind. Sindai kettadadeye sindai seivai. Sindai nirasharayam seideni. Nirasharayam means what? Whenever mind depends on the worldly objects, when it is attached to the worldly objects, then it is fed so much, it roams everywhere. Nirasharayam seide means what? Do not feed the mind. Do not give any adharam to the mind. Starve the mind. Starve the mind by not giving anything. Nirasharayam seide. Always it will hold on to something and it will live. It will thrive. When you don't hold on to anything, it cannot thrive. So nirasharayam seide. Do not give any support to the mind. Do not feed the mind with anything. Nirasharayam seide. அப்படி செய்தால் எந்த சுகம் எந்த சுக தத்துவாதீத நிட்கள ஆன்மாவில் சித்தித்திடுமோ செறிந்து. Tattvatītam means what? It is beyond all tattvas. Nishkala, beyond forms, formless. Yenda sukha anmavil sittittidumo. So that sukham, that bliss which swells from within, sittittidumo serindu. Meaning what? You always be in that bliss. So when the mind is devoid of all thoughts, it naturally abides in the self. That self is all bliss. So that bliss which arises out of the Atma Sukham, abidance in the Atma, the self, that is the real bliss. Tattvadita Nishkala Anma will, that Anma without any form, there whatever bliss swells, that you are, be there. See, it is total shunyam only. How it can be said it is something? Because of the bliss. If not for bliss, you misunderstand that to be shunyam only. Therefore it is blissful emptiness. Positive bliss one experiences. Therefore it is not shunya, pad andrari. So that Atma is Suha Swarupam. It is Suha Swarupam. Its nature is bliss. Atma doesn't have bliss. It is bliss itself. That is the difference between these two. Bliss is not a quality of Atma. It is the nature of Atma. You understand? Sindai ki ettadadaye dinam sindai seivai. Sindai nirasharayam seide. தத்துவாதீத நிற்கள ஆன்மாவில் எந்த சுகம் செறிந்து சித்தித்திடுமோ அதிலேயே தோய்வாய். நிருவிகற்பமாகி நினைக்க ஒண்ணாதாய் ஒரு முதல் திருஷ்டாந்த முராதாய் ஒரு உவமை அற்றத்தியந்தமா அகுது பரானந்தமாய் சொற்றிடப் பெற்றததில் தோய். நிருவிகற்பமாகி நினைக்க ஒண்ணாதாய் ஒரு முதற் திருஷ்டாந்தம் முராதாய் ஒரு உவமை அற்றத்தி அந்தமாம் அகுது பரானந்தமாய் சொற்றிடப் பெற்றததில் தோய். Niruviharpamahi. See, Viharpam means the differences, Bheda Bhavana. So, Niruviharpamahi means in that self there are no Vedas. So, absolutely no Vedas. Neha nanasti kinchana. Naiha nana asti kinchana. Nana means what? Plurality. Naiha nana asti. There is no plurality whatsoever. No duality, no plurality whatsoever. So there are no vihalpas, meaning what? No bhedas. So, niruviharpamahi, ninaikka vannadai, which cannot be thought of beyond. Oru mudal drishtandam atradai, uradai. Mudal means what? The cause. What is the cause? No cause. Causeless cause of the world. It can be said it is the cause of the world. It can be said. But what is the cause of the Atma? Mudal. What is the mudal of Atma? Adu tani mudal. Mulu mudal. Meaning it is the cause. And it is not caused by anything. Mudal uradai. Drishtandam uradai. Once again. It cannot be compared to anything. Drishtandam uradai. ஒரு ஊமை அற்றதாய். It cannot be compared. ஊமை சொல்ல முடியாது. You cannot compare it to anything. அத்தியந்தமாம் அகுது பரானந்தமாய் சொற்றிடப் பெற்றது. அத்தியந்தம் means what is infinite. அது பரானந்தமாய் சொற்றிடப்பட்டது. Meaning it is only indicated as bliss. பரானந்தம். Ultimate bliss. See, that is why in the Taittiriya Upanishad, when it was explained, suddenly the Rishi goes into some ahamannam, 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 ahamannado, ahamannadaha, ahaggashlokagrid, ahamasmi pratamajaridasya. Like that he goes into ecstasy. Means what is the meaning? Yeah, that is what that is there in the Taittiriya Upanishad. See, Taittiriya is chanted in Ramanashram. Not Ramanashram by a special parayam. In Taittiriya Upanishad. Means what? He breaks into that kind of ananda. He cannot express it in words. So you say means what? That is anandam, paramanandam, which cannot be expressed through words. Total bliss it is. Paranandam. So it can only be indicated as Paranandam. Atyandam means what? It is infinite. No end. No beginning, no end. It can be indicated as what? Agadu Paranandamai Sotrida Petradu means it can be explained or it can be denoted as Paranandam. Adil Thoi. See, this word Thoi means you just drown in it. Thoi. You just lose yourself in it. Thoi. Adile Thoindiru. Thoidal means you just soak yourself in it and you lose yourself in it. Adileye thoi. When such ananda you can experience, you don't want to think about anything else. Is that not so? See, that is the nature of ananda. When you are experiencing that ananda, your mind will not want anything else. Mind will not go out at all. You feel miserable and don't feel anything, hollow. You feel hollow within. That is why you go out. When you feel full, that paranandam, then mind will not go out. Why? Veera Sudandiram vendi ninrar pinbu veradu kolvaro ஆரமுதுன்னு மாசை படைத்தவர் கள்ளினில் அறிவை செலுத்துவர். When somebody is offered nectar, will that fellow go cheap? But nectar itself is given to you. Amudu is given to you. No, I don't want amudu. I want only toddy. Will anybody say that way? So when this parasuha is there, will ever anybody go after some petty pleasures or what? No. This is that sukha. Adileye thoi. You lose yourself in it. When you are eating ice cream, if you like it so much, nobody need to say, eat more, eat more. Nobody need to say, you eat more. So in this Paranandam, nobody need to say, always be there. Because it's Paranandam, that's what I want. So if you get the glimpse of that, you don't want to let it go. You want to always remain there only. Exactly, he's calling me. So adileye thoi. விடயப்பற்றெல்லாமே விட்டு மனத்தில் படரும் விருத்தி படுப்பாய் அடையுமென்று உண்மணி பாவமொன்றொன்றுமதே பரமா. உண்மணி பாவம் அன்றொன்றும் அதே பரமா. இன்பமெனலாவதே விடயப் பெற்றெல்லாமே விட்டு மனத்தில் படரும் விருத்தி படுப்பாய் அடையுமென்று உண்மணி பாவம் அன்று ஒன்றுமதே பரமா. இன்பமெனலாவதே. I will explain to you. I will split and I will tell you what it is clearly. விடயப்பற்றெல்லாமே விட்டு. Once again, same thing repeated again and again and again. விடயப்பற்றெல்லாமே விட்டு. Giving up all the attachment towards the objects. மனதில் படரும் விருத்தி படுப்பாய். You give up all the thoughts about those objects. See, there are two things. Even if you give up those objects, but still the vasana linger on, the vasanas for that, the taste remains. See, already you experienced that. Yeah, those tastes, the impressions are there. Vasanas it is called as. Though temporarily you say, no, I don't want that. I have taken a vow. I will not eat. I will not indulge. No. If you say that, for some time you can remain like that. But as long as the vasanas are there within, lurking within, you are not safe. Any time it will surface up and it can take you for a ride. So here what it is said, now you have given up the objects. That is good. But also give up the taste, the vasanas for it. That is difficult. Through tapasya only it can be done. Continuous tapasya only, even the vasanas can be exhausted. See, by denying the objects of the world, yeah, you can say, I have renounced. But still, only when you give up the vasanas, when you totally exhaust the vasanas, then you are free. Otherwise, anytime it can surface again. At the weaker moment, it can take you for a ride. So therefore, only by realizing the self, you can exhaust all the vasanas. You can burn down all the seeds. So, padarum virutti paduppai. So whatever the thoughts arising in the mind also, you give up. So when you give up all the thoughts, what happens? Adayum endru unmani bhavam. See, you have to split it like this. Please, you look into it. The second line, last word. Paduppai adayum endru unmani bhavam andru ஒன்றுமே ஒன்றுமதே பரம இன்பம் எனலாவதே. Endru means when the mind attains to the unmani bhavam. See, this is a technical word. Unmani bhavam means what? Total silence. Unmani bhavam. When all the thoughts are given up, along with the vasanas, the mind attains to perfect silence. Unmani bhavam means mona nilai. When the vasanas are exhausted, there is no push from within to think about anything or to do anything, to attain anything from the world. That is total silence. Mona nilai. Unmani bhavam andru endru unmani bhavam andru endru unmani bhavam adayum andru. When the mind attains to that unmani bhavam, that is total silence, andru ondrumade. Ondrumade means where the mind merges. Where the mind merges in the self. Ondrumade parama inbam enalavade. That is that parama inbam. That is the real bliss. So when the mind totally gone, there is total silence. So So now where the mind is, mind has merged with the self. There, whatever bliss is attained, that is the highest bliss. As long as the mind is awake and thinking about something, the Atma Anandam is blocked. It's not expressed freely. When the mind is totally still, all the thoughts are given up, then the mind enters into a silence, total silence. There, the total bliss is experienced. By whom, don't ask, because it is experienced. That is, it is only bliss, because the nature of the self is bliss. It's not somebody is experiencing bliss. The nature of the self is bliss. So that bliss. But Yoga Swami says, Anandam pochudu. Anandam pochudu is. Even that bliss, he says, pochudu, poich. Meaning what? It is still, it is said, even that beyond something it is said. So only when you go there, you know what it is really. Avane na nani nadi kudambai, avane na nani nadi. So there, when the mind becomes totally still, unmani bhavam, total silence, mona nilai. In that silence, the bliss of the highest order is experienced. As long as when we are with the thoughts, with the senses indulging in the objects, yeah, there may be some pleasure, you can say, but that is only minds, and it is all fleeting. It is all finite and it's fleeting. But when the mind is still, when it enters into the unmani bhavam, there is total silence. Whatever is experienced is a real bliss. So you always abide there and enjoy the bliss of the Paramatma, of the Atma, the Self. Om Purnamadha Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.